Welcome and thank you for clicking on the auto insurance coverage video on our website here at Colorado Insurance. Now, we have made this tutorial uh, for you guys to learn a rundown of really what your coverages mean on your auto policy, what they cover, and really how you should be covered. These are the same things that our very qualified agents will discuss with you over the phone, but nice to get a tutorial on our website. So let's get started. We're going to start here at the top with your bodily injury liability coverage. Now, this is often referred to as your split limits. So, this is going to be your 2550 if you have state minimums, which obviously we don't recommend, all the way up to 250, 500, which is really the auto limits that we recommend. So, what this means is you've got $250,000 of coverage per person injured in an accident. Now, this is in the instance where the accident was your fault, you hit somebody else, and this covers anybody else outside of your vehicle that you could possibly injure. So this is going to cover their medical bills. So you've got $250,000 per person injured in an accident, up to $500,000. And again, this is anybody outside of your own vehicle. So that's going to be your split limits. Again, we always recommend 250,000 per person injured, up to 500,000 per accident. So that is your bodily injury limits. Let's move on to the property damage liability. Now this is going to be the second half of your split limit there. So we'll see 250, 500 for your bodily injury, and then comes your property damage. We always recommend at least $100,000 in property damage. This is, again, in the instance you cause an accident, it was your fault, and you damage either one vehicle, numerous vehicles, you hit a building, any type of personal property that you could hit other than your own vehicle, this is going to cover. Now, this makes sense to have up to $100,000 in coverage, and you can actually go even higher if you like, up to $250,000 per incident. Now, if you think about it, most vehicles on the road these days is upwards of $15,000 to $20,000. State minimum requirements in the state of Colorado says you only need $15,000 in property damage. You could see how that would leave you exposed. Colorado is a wage garnishing state. So if you were to have inadequate coverage on this limit, get into an accident that was your fault, you would be responsible out of pocket for any amount of money over that limit. And if you only have $15,000 in coverage, you can see how you would be exposed. So again, we recommend at least $100,000 in property damage coverage, but you can take this up to $250,000 if you like, which is a great thing to do. So that's going to be your property damage limit. Let's move forward to your medical payments. Now, this is always kind of a gray area for a lot of people. They don't really understand what medical payments cover. So this is going to cover you or anybody else in your vehicle's first $5,000 of medical. So this is going to kick in before their health insurance would. Now, a lot of people come to us and they say, well, I have health insurance. Why do I need medical payments? A couple different reasons. Medical coverage that you have, your personal medical, usually has a deductible, and it's usually a pretty high deductible. It could be anywhere from $2,000 all the way up to $10,000 per household. This medical payments is going to allow you to use this as opposed to going to your health insurance, which is going to have you avoid that deductible. Another reason why we recommend medical payments is if you have anybody else in your vehicle that you were driving with, and let's say they don't have health insurance and you don't have medical payments, that could definitely leave them exposed and you exposed liability-wise. They could come back on you legally and say, well, you didn't carry medical payments and you didn't tell me that. So medical is something that we always recommend. It's fairly inexpensive, and again, it allows you to use this before you then tap into your health insurance. So a good option there. Let's move forward. So right here we have underinsured motorist property damage deductible. Now what this is, and you can see that it's rejected on this quote, is you would have this coverage in place of full coverage, meaning your comprehensive and collision deductibles. So if you have liability only on a vehicle that say, hey, I only want to carry my bodily injury and property damage, I'm only concerned if I hit somebody else. If my own car gets damaged, I'm not too concerned about it. Maybe it's not worth that much money. That's why people would carry liability only. Now, we always recommend adding this uninsured motorist property damage limit Let's say you only have liability and you get hit by an uninsured motorist. Maybe they drive off or maybe they hit you and they just don't have insurance. This is going to allow you to still fix your vehicle subject to this deductible, even though you don't have comprehensive and collision coverage. So something that we recommend. We know that 1 in 3 drivers in the state of Colorado does not carry insurance, and that's a scary thing. So again, with liability only vehicles, we always recommend that uninsured motorist property damage on the policies. So let's move forward now. We're going to talk about comprehensive and collision, and we're also going to talk about glass coverage, which is what this full glass means right here. Let's first talk about your comprehensive deductible. So essentially, your comprehensive deductible is any time you are not physically driving the vehicle, and it's damage that could occur due to this. So examples of this would be a hit and run, hail damage, somebody keys your car, a tree falls on it. A lot of things could happen when you're not physically driving the vehicle. This comprehensive coverage is going to cover you for that. Now, a lot of people ask, hey, how am I covered for glass on my vehicle? Now, if you have comprehensive coverage on your policy, you automatically get free chip repair on your windshield. So anytime you need to have chip repair, that's going to be covered under your comprehensive, and that is not subject to this deductible. So there's no deductible on that. Now, people will take a step further and they will add glass coverage, which is what we recommend, especially if you're carrying a higher deductible, really higher than $250 of comprehensive. We recommend you put on the glass as well. Essentially what that means is it's going to be a separate deductible when it comes to your glass. So let's say you need a new windshield, your windshield got hit, it's cracked, you need a new one. This full glass is going to actually give you a zero comprehensive deductible for glass to replace that windshield, as opposed to being subject to this $1,000 deductible. So it's going to be a separate deductible for that glass. We recommend it. Again, if your comprehensive deductible is more than $250. So that's comprehensive and glass. Let's move forward to collision coverage. Now, this is going to be the other side of the coin to fix your own vehicle. This is going to be when you are physically driving your car. So you're driving your car, you get into an accident, and it's your fault. This is what's going to fix your vehicle, and you're going to be subject to that deductible. So on this example, you have a $1,000 deductible. So again, this is what's going to fix your vehicle if you are physically driving the car. Some other endorsements that we offer on auto policies, obviously your roadside assistance is always important. This is going to act much like a AAA coverage would. Run out of gas, need a tow, have a flat tire. I absolutely recommend having roadside assistance coverage. For people that may not know how to fix a tire, teenage drivers, it's very important. They tend to run out of gas sometimes, or they may not know how to fix a tire. Also, we don't want our family fixing their own tire in a blizzard here in Colorado. That's not something that we would want. And usually roadside assistance is fairly inexpensive, and it's 24 hours. So definitely something that we recommend you carry on your auto policy. The other thing here is going to be your loss of use coverage. This is essentially going to be your rental car coverage. So again, same example, you get into an accident, it's your fault, and you have full coverage, and so your car goes into the shop to get fixed. You need a rental car, correct? This is going to be your rental car, and this is going to be per day up to 30 days. The average car gets fixed within 30 days, and so that's why they put that limit on there. And this specific example is going to give you $35 per day for 30 days on that rental car. So absolutely recommend that as well. Will come in handy if you get into an accident and need to use this coverage. Moving forward, uninsured motorist bodily injury. Very important coverage on your policy. Now, this limit should always match your bodily injury limit, and I'm going to tell you why. This coverage essentially means if you get hit by an uninsured motorist driver or an underinsured motorist driver, this is going to kick in and pay your medical bills if they can't. So maybe they put you into the hospital and you've racked up $100,000 in medical bills. If they didn't have insurance or they only have state minimums and they can't pay the rest of your medical bills, your uninsured or underinsured motorist limit is going to kick in to pay for that. So very important. This is protecting you and your own family from uninsured and underinsured motorists. And this is why this should really match this limit, your primary bodily injury limits, every single time. Those should not deviate. So that's your uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. Let's move forward to accident forgiveness. Now, sometimes accident forgiveness is available and sometimes it's not. This is going to go hand in hand with your ticket forgiveness. Absolutely recommend this coverage if you have teenage drivers. Check with our agents here at Colorado Insurance to see if this is available with the carrier that we've decided on and that you'd like to be placed with. It is offered with a lot of our carriers. Again, it's usually going to forgive one incident per family per year. So if your teenage driver gets into a car accident, that could really skyrocket your rates unless you have accident forgiveness. That's going to really mitigate that issue for you. So we absolutely recommend that as part of the process, both accident and ticket forgiveness. That's pretty much the basic coverages on an auto policy. That's really what you're going to see. Down here is going to be your discounts, and every carrier this is going to look different. Obviously, if you're coming to us and you've got violation free, accident free, you're going to get those discounts. We always recommend that you bundle your home and auto insurance together for many reasons, not just the discounts, but the affiliated liability with the two. Your Colorado insurance agent could go into that more with you, but definitely recommend keeping those together. You're going to get other discounts such as anti-theft on your vehicle. Obviously, if you have multiple cars, you're going to get a discount for that as well. So these are some basic discounts that companies are going to offer on your auto policy. Other than that, we definitely appreciate you watching the video. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please do not hesitate to call our fantastic sales team at 720-283-1722. And we are here to help and hopefully save you money during the process. So we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.